Introduction. We've all heard the saying, actions speak louder than words. But modern psychology suggests something even more interesting. It's not just the actions. It's the small patterns hidden between the actions. A slight delay before answering. A smile that disappears too quickly. Promises that never become priorities. These tiny behaviors often reveal someone's real motives long before the truth comes out. Now, this doesn't mean you should judge people based on one moment. Everyone has bad days. But when these signals appear consistently, they can tell an incredibly accurate story. Let's uncover the first one. Their actions never match their words. Have you ever met someone who always says the right things? I'll always be there for you. You can count on me. I'll definitely help. But when the moment actually comes, they're suddenly busy, or they disappear. Psychologists call this behavioral inconsistency. The human brain naturally trusts patterns more than promises. Words are easy. Actions require commitment. Imagine a friend who constantly talks about loyalty but only calls when they need something. Eventually, their behavior tells you everything their words never could. Here's a simple rule. Don't listen to what people promise. Watch what they repeatedly do, because intentions always leave footprints. They only show interest when they need something. Think about this. Does someone only text you when they need a favor? Do they suddenly become incredibly friendly? Right before asking for money, advice, or an introduction? This is called transactional behavior. Healthy relationships involve genuine curiosity. People ask how you're doing because they care, not because they're preparing a request. Pay attention to timing. If every conversation eventually turns into what they want, their intentions may be more about using you than valuing you. Real connections don't feel like business deals, they're eyes and face. Tell a different story. Our faces can lie, but not perfectly. Researchers studying body language have found that genuine emotions often appear for only a fraction of a second before people consciously hide them. These are sometimes called micro-expressions. Imagine sharing exciting news. Someone smiles, but for an instant, you notice disappointment, or you apologize, and they claim everything is fine, yet their jaw tightens, their eyes narrow, their smile looks forced. One expression doesn't prove anything, but repeated emotional mismatches often reveal hidden feelings. People may control their words. Controlling every facial reaction is much harder. They never celebrate your success. This one is surprisingly common. When something amazing happens in your life, how do they react? Do they genuinely celebrate? Or do they quickly change the subject? Maybe they compare themselves. Maybe they downplay your achievement, or somehow turn the conversation back to themselves. Psychologists have found that supportive relationships grow stronger when people actively celebrate each other's victories. Jealousy often hides behind fake enthusiasm. The people who truly care about you don't compete with your happiness. They multiply it. They constantly test your boundaries. Can you do just one more favor? I know you said no, but it's not a big deal. Sound familiar? Manipulative people rarely ask for everything at once. Instead, they push little by little. Today, it's borrowing money. Tomorrow, it's invading your privacy. Next week, it's expecting you to cancel your plans for them. This gradual process is known as the foot in the door effect. Every small yes makes the next request easier. Healthy people respect boundaries. Manipulative people treat them like obstacles to overcome. Pay attention to how someone reacts when you politely say no. That response often reveals more than any conversation ever could. They mirror you, but only when it benefits them. Have you ever met someone who suddenly shares all your interests? They love your favorite movies. They agree with every opinion. They even start using your phrases. This can be normal. Humans naturally mirror each other to build connection. But excessive mirroring can also be a strategy. Some people copy your personality to gain trust quickly. Once trust is established, their real motives begin to appear. Ask yourself, do they still seem authentic when there's nothing to gain? Or does their personality completely change around different people? Authenticity stays relatively consistent. Manipulation changes with the audience. They avoid direct answers. Here's an interesting psychological trick. Instead of answering your question, they answer a different one. For example, you ask, "Did you tell anyone what I shared?" Instead of saying yes or no, they respond, "You know I'd never intentionally hurt you." Notice something? They never actually answered. People with honest intentions usually communicate clearly. People hiding something often create confusion instead. Watch for conversations that leave you with more questions than answers. Confusion can sometimes be intentional, because uncertainty gives people room to avoid accountability.
Your gut keeps warning. This might sound surprising, but your intuition isn't magic, it's pattern recognition. Your subconscious notices tiny details long before your conscious mind puts them together. Maybe their smile feels forced, maybe their compliments feel rehearsed, maybe something simply feels off. Your brain is processing hundreds of subtle signals without you realizing it. Of course, intuition isn't always correct. Past trauma, anxiety, or fear can distort it. That's why the smartest approach is to combine intuition with evidence. If your instincts and someone's repeated behavior both point in the same direction, don't ignore it. Sometimes your mind notices the truth before your heart is ready to accept it. Conclusion. The truth is, people rarely announce their intentions. Instead, they reveal them through patterns, consistency, respect, honesty, empathy. These are difficult to fake over time. The goal isn't to become suspicious of everyone, it's to become observant. Because understanding human behavior doesn't make you cynical, it makes you wiser. The people who deserve a place in your life will consistently show respect, kindness, and integrity, not just when it's convenient, but when it truly matters. Final life lesson. Remember this: don't let beautiful words convince you. Let consistent actions earn your trust. The people who genuinely care about you won't need to constantly prove it with promises. You'll see it in how they treat you every single day. If you enjoyed this video and want to understand human psychology, body language, and the hidden behaviors that shape everyday life, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next lesson. And before you go, which of these 8 signals have you experienced in real life? Share your story in the comments. You never know, your experience might help someone else see what they've been missing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.